Hello. The Altos cable is a loose tube cable. That means it has 250 micron coated fiber. I will show you how to perform what we call an end span access. That is where you remove the sheath on an end portion of the cable. And for that, we will require a couple of tools. The tools that I have here range from tools you need to cut the cable to tools that you need to actually strip the fiber once you get on the inside of the cable. So I have some cut-resistant gloves on, and I do have my safety glasses. Of course, they're ANSI certified. And when working with fiber optic cables, remember that cables are susceptible to excessive bending, pulling, and crushing forces. Excessive forces may cause even broken fibers in extreme cases, so you want to be careful. For this particular cable, the spec sheet tells me that I should observe a minimum bend radius of 7.2 inches and a maximum pulling tension of 600 pounds. When working with sheaves, rollers, blocks, shoes, and any such equipment, make sure it maintains the minimum bend radius of the cable at all times. Also, make sure that your cable never drags on the edge of a manhole or a handhole. That may lead to broken fibers in extreme cases on the inside. If you do all those things, then you'll have a properly installed cable. No problem when testing. So reference the SRP, or instructions that come with the closure or housing you're installing the cable into, to obtain the optimum sheath removal length. For this SCF 6E28, that is 99 inches for an end span, meaning I need to take about 99 inches of this off. But I will add 6 inches to that for a total sheath removal length of 105. I'll tell you why. I need the 6 inches to aid in accessing the ripcord on the inside, which I'll use to split my sheath. So I will make 2 marks, one at the 6-inch point and one at 105. I'm going to use either a hook blade, or you can use either a hook blade or a rotary cable stripper. In this case, I'm going to be using a hook blade. So make a ring cut at the 6-inch point here, and another one at the 105-inch mark. Now be sure not to cut the jacket all the way in a manner to damage the buffer tubes. Once you've done that, flex the cable, just like I'm doing here. And then, if you're using the hook blade, insert the tip right there, and then just rip the top sheath off just like that, and then remove it like that. You can see my ripcord. The next thing I will do is make a starting notch for the ripcord right there, and then channel my ripcord into that starting notch. I'm using a handle of a nut driver here. You can use anything to do this, to stop at that mark. And I'm going to use my snips, and I'll leave about 6 inches of that because, I don't know, I may make a mistake and I might need to come back and re-access the rest of this. Next point, separate the internal contents of the cable from the jacket, just like this. Now careful with that, you don't want to overbend the buffer tubes. When you get to this point, you can use either a hook blade or a pair of dikes like this. To help you remove the sheath, just like so. Next point, we want to use a seam ripper and cut the binding tape. And I'm also going to take the opportunity now to snip off the water blocking tape, and we can roll it off the cable just like so. Feel free to cut the binding tape as often as you wish to make the access easy. I got some more binding tapes over here. I'm going to use the same ripper, and there are 2 of them. Cut both of them and roll them off. I'm going to separate the buffer tubes from the center strength member of the cable. That should look just like that. There is water blocking yarn that was inside wrapped around this, and that just fell off there. Now, the other thing we want to do is cut this center strength member, but you want to leave about 6 inches because you might use that to strain relief to the closure or housing into which you're installing the cable. So I'm going to cut this just like that. And what is left is to actually get into this buffer tubes and do whatever you need to do with your fibers. For that, we have the small coaxial stripper, and that works just like this, making sure that all the blades that are adjusted properly. Just make a ring cut, and then just bend your tube and pull it off. And that's it. If you have a question, give us a call or write us. And thank you.